Hi everyone and welcome to today's card for Craftie Cafe design team. Here we'll be using some products from Tailored Expressions, Lawn Fawn and My Favorite Things, as well as some inks from Lawn Fawn as well, which I will list in the products list below. Now this paper from the Birthday Blowout 6x6 paper pack is really fun and vibrant. You will absolutely love it, and I've used some coordinating inks that you'd like. So I've got a top folding white card base that I'll run through the Big Shot with the party die. This is a selection of inks. I don't end up using the Distress Oxide inks, but I definitely brought it to film to see whether or not I would or wouldn't. So I have got a list of inks here from Lawn Fawn. I've got chili pepper, sunflower, freshly cut, grass and fish tank. I start off with fish tank, and I've got the die cut of the balloons Tailored Expressions dies here that I've already pre-cut out with white cardstock. I've got an ink blending tool here, and I realized after the blue that I was getting a lot of ink on my hands which I'll bring into view. So I've got underneath a craft mat to protect the surface of my mat and to be able to blend quite easily the ink on the cardstock. I go a little bit heavy-handed towards the bottom of the balloons, just I suppose to add some extra depth, and I work my way through each color here. So fish tank, then the chili pepper, and I've used the heart die cut out. So you've got a normal balloon, you've got a larger balloon shape, you've got a heart and a star. So these are really fun die cuts. You can actually, this can be quite a versatile die cut to use. You can just die cut off the ends if you didn't want the ends to be shaped like a balloon. This is really fun, and I don't have a set of balloon die, so this was a great one to add to the collection. So I've brought in the sunflower here, the ink, all from Lawn Fawn and all available from the Craftie Cafe website. So I'm just inking up, and now I've actually used a tissue. Fancy that. I was getting too much ink on my hands, and because it's dye ink, it can quite stain your hands until you give your hands a quite proper wash. So I just play around here with some dyes and inks, and I do stick to these 4 color inks. I decided not to bring in the Distress Oxide ink, but by all means, your color combo, you can choose whatever you want. I've just chosen colors that coordinate with the paper. Now I've got my distress sprayer. I just lightly press the handle so it gives a variety of blobs, water blobs, so some large, some small, some spritzing, which is great because this spritzer you can utilize with a lot of elements and lots of type of water droplets. So bringing back the top folding card base into view here. And because I used white cardstock, even though I've chosen this polka dot paper from that collection, later on I decided it's actually, even though I stuck it down, I had to make the party die cut stand out a little bit more. So I'll show you what I end up doing for that. So I've just brought in my glue pen here. This one here is the Coredinations glue pen, and this is the Turbo Precision. This is a fine application point, so it's really handy to have if you don't have your Tombow Mono adhesive. So I also, from that paper collection, cut out some stripes, just thin 1/4 inch stripes to put on the top and bottom. And you can see the word party really gets lost. So after I adhere that down, and just paper snip the edges, because it is a 6x6 and I'd rather go over and then go behind and snip it off. I adhere the balloons. I go straight, the bottom layer I adhere down with the glue, and then the top of the balloons I use foam adhesive, just square adhesive. So here I am, I kind of assembled it how I would like, and then adhering it all down. And once I've done that, I have grabbed a marker, like any black marker. I've got one that I use for my planning for this one. This particular marker is really great for glossy planning stickers on my Erin Condren. And it's got a fine tip too. So, and it's like got a calligraphy type. The more heavy you go, the thicker you can get as well. So I ended up drawing some string as well. And here you see I bring in the dark party die cut. So I really struggled seeing it. So what I did is, even though I used this dark blue cardstock, I still offset it so you could see like the white shadow behind it, which I slightly offset to the left. And you'll see it in the pictures that you can see it, but I just thought it was just much better to see the actual die cut word. So after I realized, yep, I'm happy with that, I bring in my marker and I just hand draw the strings, which is a big risk for me. It's not something I would normally do, especially since once I've done all this hard work and I've stuck everything down. So it is rather a big risk, but I was okay. I wasn't totally happy with it, but it is what it is, and I ended up being okay with it. So just to add that extra string element, I've brought in some black twine that I've cut and did a double layer with the bow, and using some glue dots to adhere that down just by placing it behind the center. And it was a little bit of a furry twine, so I just gave it a little bit of a haircut. Now, I didn't think this card was finished, so I had to add a little bit of bling, but subtle, still colourful. So I've used my new Very Tonic drops. So I just placed this around randomly. I kind of played it by ear. Again, a bit risky, unlike me. Usually I'll have some kind of idea, but this card I totally winged it, and I was actually happy with the overall result. So the theme for Craftie Cafe is like party themes or party invites, and I thought this was a perfect combo and dies and stamps to play with as well. I didn't end up using the Lawn Fawn stamp set that I introduced at the start. I just kind of left it as is. So there you go. I hope you liked today's card creation. Please leave a comment on my blog and YouTube, and keep an eye on all the social media platforms for Craftie Cafe. Thanks for watching. Bye.